Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. What in the world is happening in the markets? Well, that's the big question that's lingering on everyone's mind right now, as the markets have been heading in the downward direction. So, few key points to remember. One is inflation. The price that is on products and services that has risen to the point where everybody's paying more for things that they used to pay less for. Another thing that is happening is interest rate. With the interest rate on the table, where the feds are discussing that they want to raise the interest rate this year. So that's number two. Number three, what is happening in the Middle East? What is happening with Russia? What is happening with Ukraine? And the conflict in the Middle East overall. Not to forget also, the pandemic is still going on. We see what's going on with the omicron variant, and we realize that even though it's less deadly than the original strain of the virus, it still got investors on the hedge as to what is going on overall, what's the state of the economy and what's happening in the world of finance this year 2022. And so we see the market is reacting across basically all sectors. We see the S&P 500, which really shows the larger view of the market, the overall market operation. We see that it was on a downtrend all week, taking a huge hit and falling to levels that we have not seen in a good while now, as we can see here. For a bigger view of what's happening, the last time the markets was at this level was in October 2021, and since then we see where we have gone from 4,400 in that region. You know, the lows right here is 4,330, and we have been on a nice trend. A lot of money has been made in this area right here, this overall area, as investors were able to capitalize on this bull market right here. You see, nothing but a huge uptrend all the way to 4,800 and change. And now what's happening? We have correction. We have folks wondering what is going on in the wider world, as the pandemic is still raging, and also the friction and the conflict that is happening in the Middle East, and also Ukraine and Russia, as they seem to be on the brink of war unless something changes. And this is how the market reacts. It reacts to world news and world situations that's happening. Whatever is happening currently, the market will react, because investors' money is tied up in the market, and one thing that happens is that when there's an uncertainty, investors on a whole will pull their money out of the market, and we're talking long-term investors, people who invest money and expect, growth on their money, expect a return. Those are the people who are looking to make the necessary adjustments right now. For traders, day traders, it's a different story, because we come in the market daily and trade what we see using a certain set of skill sets to execute the trades that we see fit to make a profit in the market for that day and get back out. So this, right, what is happening, yes, we need the market to be liquid in order for us as day trader to come in, capitalize, and get out of the market. But the overall market sentiment will affect a day trader to a certain level, because we are not in the market to stay. We are in to get into a good trade and get out of the market. Leave the long-term decisions to people who are investors. So let me see, the S&P 500, still the 5-minute chart right here. I just switched over from a 4-hour chart, which was showing the wider view. Well, look at this. Now, for investor that's old in the market, invested in the S&P 500 stocks, they are the one who really feel the pain of what is happening right now. But for a day trader, we would come in, look for patterns, support and resistance areas, and we get into the market at different levels and get back out, take a profit, have a daily goal, hit that daily goal, and get out of the market for the day. So what is happening in the market long term, it affects a day trader to only a certain level. So this is what we have right here on the S&P 500. It's been a brutal week, but after having so many long-term success in the market, it's only right and only would be a good thing for those who are invested long term to be prepared for something like this to happen. We know that the market will never just continue in one direction. We will have profit taking, which creates different trends and direction, and also people being affected by the overall health of the economy. So they will want to make different decisions as to whether or not you're gonna hold on to stocks long term, or they're gonna get out of the stock. So that's what's happening here in the stock market. We see many major companies this week that had not so much of a good week. Not so much of a good week at all. Look at Netflix right here. We are trending down from 600 and basically 700 all the way down to 396. And as the pandemic starts to ease, or as we start getting less serious variants of the virus, some of these stocks were really booming when everybody was home. Everybody had to stay home. People would be home watching Netflix for hours, so they would continually get a lot of new subscription and all that kind of stuff. But if we see right here, this is what is happening. As more people go back to work, look at it. November 2021, we knew that the virus, we got a chance to celebrate Thanksgiving and had a chance to start mingle again with families and friends. People started traveling again and such alike. And here's what happening. Stock start trending down. It's not that Netflix is not a good stock, but we understand that the key elements of people investing and buying these stocks, or it depends on what is happening in the world. People are home. Look at this. People have been home from, this is 2021 right here, but this stock has had a lot of success. May, just for instance, look at this right here, May 2021. It went from, say, around $505 or $480 all the way up to $700. Now, that's amazing. But investors always had in the back of their mind that once people start moving again, you know, stuff like Netflix is gonna be somewhat on a slower pace, and you know, investors want to put their money or their clients' money where it's gonna have a lot of upward movement to the upside, meaning the stock is gaining momentum and they are able to make a lot of money. But when they are not making money, when the company will come out and give a forecast of what is expected in the near future, then people gonna start taking profit. And this is what happened. Stock goes back down and wait for the next big move. Let's see, another big one that happened this week was Peloton, and that's the company that deals with like exercising equipments and stuff like that. So let's look at the daily chart right here, and this is all investors stuff. A day trader will go long or short based on what is happening for the day, but just for a more wider perspective, we look at what's happening here. So this is April 2020. This stock was around $29-30, somewhere in that range. Now the pandemic came, everyone had to stay home and work from home, exercise from home, the gyms were closed, and they invested heavily in home workout equipment. And here's what happened with the stock Peloton. Now they went from $29-30 all the way up to $170. Now just think about that. That is a crazy amount of percentage of return if you had invested in this company. And what every company has their own season to strive, and this is what happened. Pandemic boosters and vaccines started becoming available, and gradually we started going down in a company like this. And look at it, all the way down from $170 just about to $27. And what is happening now with the inflation, with the overall strength of the economy, is not doing any justice for a company like this. So hence, maybe their worst days are ahead, or if they can, pivot and change something in the company, then they can, recover and stabilize what is happening. But this is not good. So this is what happened when the world is not at a good place in terms of an overall condition, as it relates to how people's lives are gonna be affected. Now let's look at another big one that happened this week. Bitcoin. Oh boy, I'm telling you, has lost a major percentage of its value. Billions of dollars, maybe even trillions of dollars. But I want to say billions of dollars has been wiped out of the market. Now, this could be a great place for people who've been waiting to get in. But I can tell you something, folks. Investing in cryptocurrency is not for the weak-hearted. It's not for the person who is barely getting by. Yes, it can be, but it's all about timing. And if we look right here, it's kind of heartbreaking to see what's happening here. But then again, what is happening in the overall world that we are living in? The pandemic is still raging. You got governments being skeptical about cryptocurrency even at this point in time, after they've been around for so long. And even some of those government officials are also invested in the markets. But yet still, this is what happened when it is out of the control of just the average individual, because it has a major impact. The news and the economy and what the banks and the feds and the world leaders are saying will have a major impact on cryptocurrency. And this is what we've been seeing for some time now. Also, again, we can't forget we are in the midst of a pandemic. Now, looking at this chart right here, the next support area is the major support I'm talking is $29,409. And where are we coming from? From almost $70,000, as we can see, and this is as of November 2021. Guys, we gotta pay attention to these things, and that's why we say, don't invest if you don't have a strategy to invest. Don't invest if you just have your daily money for your bills and stuff to get by, because you're gonna lose money. You are gonna lose money. As we know, the thing or the saying that says most traders lose money. And if you're investing just because a friend told you to do so, or just because something that you came across on social media, you might be in for some heartbreak. And the times are already hard, so that's why right now we are developing a course for the average individual to really learn how to trade the markets and to put themselves in a position where they can make profits. Because if you had invested here at 70,000, now the Bitcoin market is down all the way to 35,479. You would definitely feel some pain from doing that. So there are stuff to look for when you're investing. There are stuff to look for when you're trading. That's why I'm not an investor, I'm a trader. I come in, I see opportunity, I take the trade, set a goal, and look for an exit. We'll be keeping a close eye on what is going on, and we are going to be coming in weekly to give an overview video, a video of our thoughts on what is currently happening with the markets and the overall condition of the economy and the world systems right now, as to how it will affect us as traders. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and like the video, comment, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm looking forward to hear from you. Until we see you again, stay tuned and stay safe.